be religious. This is the fear in being religious. Fear in being religious is you need to do the right thing, you need to follow this, you need to follow that, but at the end of it, you have lost the connection with the Lord. You're all nice, fabulous, but spiritually, nowhere. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. So because of this, sometimes we are blind to something. See, God, here the Pharisees are looking at Jesus' apostles and saying, hey, these people are doing something wrong. And who are they with? See, you are so blind, you don't even see who you're with. So this is the problem. When you are religious, you miss the point. You miss sometimes, you even miss the Creator God in that time. What happens in verse 3? I will read that also. He answered, haven't you read what David did? Did I read verse 2 or I missed 2? We'll miss, I think, though I spoke about 2, I didn't read 2. Because actually the Pharisees, the people were putting up or pulling the grain and say, when the Pharisees saw this, they said to him, look, your disciples are doing what is unlawful on Sabbath. See, though, waiting to see when this man is going to make the mistake, because we have to catch him. We have to catch him because this man is not the religious man. This man has come to ruin us. So because they had this idea of doing the right thing all the time. So he says here, this is unlawful on Sabbath. But they have forgotten, as I told you, what Sabbath was. Because don't ever forget what Sabbath was, my brother, my sister. When we forget that point, we go on the regulation only. We go on the regulation because Sabbath, as I told you, was a rest day where God said, okay, you rest, you refresh yourself, thinking of the goodness, the kindness, what have I done to your life. That's a day that we must spend. How do we spend? But they are waiting for you. See, this is the difference. See, verse 3. He answered, haven't you read what David did when he and his companions were hungry? Jesus also won't keep his mouth shut. Now, we expect Jesus to say, okay, now that's what we have been taught, no? Okay, the inner response. The inner response is, okay, whatever you all say, we go. But here Jesus knows when to give the inner response, and this is what we have to be wise, my brother, my sister. We have to be wise. There are inner responses, but also when you have to tell people awareness, when we have to give them the awareness, that's the time God gives you the wisdom to talk. It's not being shutting your mouth, because that's the best way to wait. No, okay, well, let them say anything, because then we are not going to confront anyone. Easy. I of course shut my mouth and wait and let them say anything. So, my brother, my sister, that's not it. There are moments where, see, Jesus, he could have just waited. Oh, let my Lord handle that. No, Jesus told, okay, you learn something from me today. And he's telling each and every one of us here. What is it? He said, can't you remember what David did? Because this is so comfortable for the Pharisees to talk about the Old Testament. It's very comfortable because they knew exactly the Old Testament. They knew exactly the Old Testament. They knew the rules and regulations. He said, can you remember what David did? What has he done? Verse 4. Them to do. But only for the priest. Now he's telling, can you remember? So at that time, if you know, my brother, my sister, in book of Samuel, they say, David was hiding from King Saul. And this is an anointed person. This is an anointed, already he has been anointed by God. And here he's hiding. Saul is trying to kill him. And then when he is there, that is the time that he is taking. Now if you see Jesus also the same. The anointed one, people are waiting to fix him. People are waiting to fix him with little things. You are doing this, you are doing that. David over there is also the anointed man. He is not even yet king when he was hiding and when he ate this. But here Jesus says, can you remember what he did? Can you remember what he did? So my brother, my sister, it can be the law. Because the law of we can do all these rituals. We can do all the rituals. If someone is hungry, what are you going to do? You have to come for mass, leaving your children in hunger. Can't cook for my husband and come because I have to, because come for this. What is important? You have to think about it, my brother. You need to balance it. You need to, because God never said, because we have a responsibility. We have to do this. But you can't just ignore everything. Okay, I'm sure God will give them lunch and dinner. I will come for this. Because you're doing avoidance, my brother, my sister. So what we have to understand is rituals and forgetting the true intent. We are gone. We can follow all the rituals. But why was Sabbath made? For the goodness of the people, and also to do good for the others. It's not to punish anyone, my brother, my sister. So God is reminding, it's to liberate. Because he said in the Passover, I made the Passover to do what? To liberate and save my people. So you need to celebrate. And here the Sabbath, it's all about goodness. Celebrate. Celebrate. He's not telling, oh, I'm going to punish you if you don't come. My brother, my sister, this is what he's asking you today. And he's reminding them, see, if David can do it. So because then when the Old Testament is quoted, they don't want to talk. Where they know this. So one thing we have to remember is, my brother, my sister, just because David did that doesn't mean that everyone can do it. It's the need at that moment. It's that need. So we also can quote someone and say, that one did, so I am doing it. So we can always fall into that other one so religious, they are falling into sin, why can't I fall into sin? So continue. But that's the danger, my brother, my sister. That's the danger there. Jesus never said break, but he reminded, David did that, but nothing happened to him because he had a reason to do that. His people were hungry. They didn't break. So here he's telling, hunger, a person's internal need, God says, is more important than a ritual or just doing something. Because God is God looks into every detail of our lives. Every detail, my brother, my sister. Say what he's saying after that, verse. Or haven't you read in the law that on the Sabbath, the priests in the temple desecrate the day and yet are innocent? He says they do the most amount of work on the Sabbath, because they are offering, they are cutting, they are chopping. When you're not supposed to cut, when you're not supposed to chop, when you're just waiting to pray and to rest and not do anything, who is doing it? Priests are doing it. So this is what happens, my brother. We are blind. We are blind to those things, when actually if it's good for them, why not for us? Then we can always ask. God is telling, if they can do, if the people who have been kept to do, if they can do that on Sabbath, why can't my people eat? Why can't my people eat? They are not eating all the time. Once when there was a hunger, they ate. So he's asking, why at least one day? So that's what he's telling in verse 6. I tell you that one greater than the temple is here. He says a one greater. He's never saying a person. He's saying one greater than the temple is here. What happened in the temple, my brother, my sister? In the temple, what happened in the temple was there was offertory. There were people offering these bulls, as the Tata said. There were offerings of the lamb and all that stuff. And here, that is to come out of sin and to be liberated. And here they say, God is, I tell you that one greater, who is this one greater? He's his body. They say in Greek they use neuter, for tense. So they say they never use as a person, masculine or feminine. They say one. One is the body of here. Here say, this person is going to offer his life. It's not this on that altar things are happening. But here there is someone greater. Who is this person greater? Jesus. That's what we have been talking the last few days, my brother, my sister. This is the blood that's going to save you. This body is the same person's body. It's not a bull, it's not a lamb, or it's not anything else. This is this person who is going to be sacrificed on that day. So the one greater is going to be there, my brother, my sister. That's why in Hebrews 10:10, I think Tati said, Hebrews 10:10. If you remember, it's good. And by that will, we have been made holy through the sacrifice of the body of Jesus Christ, once for all. Here, that's why he's telling, don't you know there's someone who is here greater than that temple? Greater than that temple. Who is the body of Jesus? There, he's there. He said, I'm there. I am going to be the sacrifice. I'm not going to lie on the altar. I'm not going to be chopped like that. But on that cross, I'm going to offer my life. It's not about a lamb. It's not about a bull. But here I am. The greater person is here. The greater person is here. So my brother, my sister, today the Lord is offering you and me something. He's telling, see, I'm there. And that's why the value of Mass, Holy Mass, as we know. This is a sacrifice that happens every Mass. Every Mass